Today I am going to discuss the Secure Act 2.0 and its impact on retirement planning. There were several changes within the Act. Most of them I view as beneficial for retirees and pre-retirees. We'll hit 5 different topics within this short video, and hopefully it will at least raise questions. Maybe you could reach out to your financial advisor if one of these relates to you or you believe that you could benefit from one of these changes. If we have not met, I am VanLandingham, founder of Priestess Private Wealth Management, where we build ideal retirement plans that are dynamic for our clients. And the key word there is dynamic. Just as the Secure Act brought change, there's a myriad of other things that bring change as well. Lifestyle or life circumstances, death of a spouse, the baby boomers especially, a lot of our clients are baby boomers, and they're in that sandwich generation where they're taking care of their parents but also helping out with their adult children. So there's a lot of different things that impact people throughout their retirement, and I've been doing this nearly 20 years, and I can tell you that if you talk to a client 10 years ago and ask them about their retirement and what they planned for that to look like, they would give you an answer. Fast forward 10 years and then ask them that same question, and there's going to be all these unexpected things that just come up. And that's why we believe that a plan is not once and done. It needs to be dynamic and adaptable. So we'll just jump right in, and the first one we're going to talk about is 401ks and their Roth RMD limitations. So prior to the Act, if you had a Roth 401k and you reached the RMD age, which is required minimum distribution, you reached that age, then they required you to pull out distributions even though it was a Roth. A lot of people got around that just by rolling over the 401k Roth into a Roth IRA, because Roth IRAs do not require RMD. That's a plus in our view, that the ability to just, even if you have you own the company or something and it's something you just plan on keeping forever, then prior to that it was like, I've got to get rid of this Roth 401k because I'm about to have to start taking RMDs. Well, now you can leave that where it is and not have to worry about taking RMDs. The next subject we'll talk about here is the 529. So it allows you now to roll that into a Roth for the beneficiary. So let's say you're a grandparent, your grandchild is born, you establish a 529 for their college savings, and you put in X number of dollars, but when they were born, you knew they were a genius. And come to find out 18 years later, when they're headed off to college, that they are a genius, they got a full ride scholarship. So you have this 529 that you planned on for their college education expenses. And there may be some expenses that you can still utilize that for, but as far as those main expenses, tuition and things like that, you don't have to, those are covered by the scholarship. What they changed in the Secure Act is they allow you to roll over up to $35,000 max into a Roth IRA for the beneficiary. So it'd be for your grandchild. And I look at that as a big plus, right? It's just a way to say, hey, you worked really hard to get that scholarship, and so we're gonna roll over X number of dollars into a Roth account for you, just to give you a head start in your retirement planning for your future. I think that's a great thing. It's capped at 35, and contribution limits adhere to it as well, which just means you can't just dump a big lump sum of $35,000 into a Roth. You actually have to do it over multiple years based on the contribution limits. Another change to that is there's no income limit for the 529 to Roth rollover. And what I mean by that is, most of you probably already know that if you have a Roth or income above a certain limit, you cannot contribute directly to a Roth. There's ways around that I won't get into, such as a backdoor Roth conversion, a way that if you have income that exceeds that threshold, you can still get money into a Roth account. Number 3, 401k match. Prior to the Secure Act, when your employer matched your contributions, they had to be pre-tax. Now that after the Secure Act, your employer can now make Roth contributions as their match. So that's, again, another plus. Most of these, again, are towards that after-tax dollars. I don't know if it's just they want the money up front now, but in my opinion, it's great for the clients that can take advantage of that just because it allows them to get more into that tax-free distribution bucket, as opposed to prior to that, most of the time it was just IRA contributions, which are capped. So that's a great addition. And the next one, number 4, is SEP and simple IRAs. So if you are a small business owner and offer a simple or a SEP, or if you have a side hustle and so you have a business outside of your career and establish a simple or a SEP IRA, you are able now to make Roth contributions. Prior to that, all had to be pre-tax. Now you can actually contribute Roth contributions. Again, a way to get that tax-free bucket at least filled up to where you want it to be, as opposed to the old way of doing things where most everything was pre-tax, and that was the majority of the accounts that people created. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is the RMD age. Prior to the Secure Act, it was 70. Before that, it was 70 and a half. Then it moved to 72. Now it's 73 because of the Secure Act. So we got 73. After 10 years, it bumps up to 75. And so this is great because you don't have to, at 73 is when you have to start taking those required minimum distributions. So it gives you a couple more years to let that money grow tax deferred before you have to start pulling it out and paying ordinary income tax on it. This also opens up an opportunity for Roth conversions. Everybody's situation's different, and this is not advice, so always speak with a professional before implementing any of this stuff. But what I typically do is I will look at what a client is pulling out to supplement their income out of their IRA account, and then I'll look at what their RMD will be, or would be based on the current value. So we know it'll probably grow over time. But let's say they're 65 years old, they have to start pulling out at age 73, so you've got 8 years. When we look at that amount, let's say they needed $24,000. That's what they've been pulling out, and they don't need any more than that. But their RMD on that account is going to be $48,000, double that, which means at age 73, they're going to have to pull out money and pay taxes on it that they otherwise wouldn't need to do that and allow that to grow tax deferred. So by looking at that and then planning for conversions, and again, this depends on tax brackets and a myriad of other things, but trying to get that traditional IRA balance down to where it's close to what they're needing, so that their RMD, the amount that they're required to take at 73, lines up with their income needs as opposed to being too much. And that's twofold, so they don't have to pay the taxes on it when they start taking it, but then for their beneficiaries. If you inherit an IRA and you're not a spouse, so children, then you have to pull that out now within a 10-year window and pay the taxes on it. If you inherit a Roth, you still have to pull it out within 10 years, but it comes out tax-free. Big difference there. And it also depends a lot on the heirs, right? So if they're still working when they inherit it, they're in their 50s or early 60s, so they're in their what we call their peak earning years, they're at the height of their career. So typically their tax bracket, they're going to be in their highest tax bracket. Then they inherit a large IRA and have to start taking distributions out of it. Then that could push them into a higher tax bracket, plus a portion of their inheritance will go to the IRS. The other side is if they're already retired. Say you live to be age 90 and your kids are in their 60s and they're retired, drawing on Social Security. What that could do, inheriting in a large IRA, as they pull that money out, then they could pay higher Medicare premiums, or their Social Security, a portion of that can be brought in and taxed. Again, it would be an addition in taxes or premiums. I look at anything that pulls money out of your pocket and goes to the government in any shape or form as a tax. So whether it's a Medicare premium increase or just the taxes that you'll have to pay on Social Security, and that can go up to 85% of Social Security can be taxed. So it's just a thing that we can look at those scenarios versus where they're at, what their children do, and then see if they inherit a Roth, it could be a lot more beneficial, not only to them, but for the lifetime taxes paid on that money for your entire family. So these are just 5 things that changed in the Secure Act, and I hope you found some value in it. If there's anything that you'd like to discuss, feel free to reach out, phone, email, go to our website, schedule an appointment. Our calendar's on there as well. And if you like the video, please subscribe, and that's how we determine whether we want to get more granular into a certain topic. So if there's something that just doesn't get a whole lot of likes on it, then most people aren't really interested in this. But this topic here, a lot of people liked it. So that means we're going to dig into a little bit deeper. And again, what we're trying to do is continue to just walk through the same principles that we use currently with our clients and share those. So hopefully you can find value in those as well. So until next time, guys, choose your advisor wisely. Your financial health depends on it.